Prepare for battle.
Heroes that the game is going to fall onto their shoulders. Whose shoulders would you rather stand on this series, this game 3? The more for the PL?
I mean, the PL, if he can get to a point, right, there's not the best ways to deal with him, but I kind of liking what Nigma's got going on right here. I like their ways to counter, in particular, what Liquid went for, like this Venge versus the Death Prophet, so you break the distance away so Oracle can't save. You have Visage plus Clockwork, always be able to find the backlines too. It'd be a pretty interesting one.
To battle.
Yeah, nice to see sort of both teams mixing it up with some different heroes. We've had quite good variety over these 3 games of the first series.
Yeah, I don't want to say, like I said, Darkseer would maybe have a decent time last time because he wasn't versus many stuns and he got kind of owned, but I'm looking at Boxy this time and I feel like Leshrac just gets kind of burst by all of these heroes quite easily. I'm a little worried for him in particular in the game. I feel like he's just a really easy target always to go for. There's a Clockwork and a Visage. I feel like these 2 heroes kind of annihilate Leshrac in most situations.
Yeah, Boxy's going to have to be very careful with his positioning. A lot of ways for Nigma to get on top of him when it comes to those team fights where the Lesh is trying to frontline.
Exactly. That's kind of why I'm like saying this about Boxy, because the panel had talked about how they actually for both sides they kind of wanted more frontlining, and both are not the greatest with that. Because sure, Death Prophet can, but you don't want to in this game because you can get swapped out of position and all that. So Boxy, I feel like he might actually have to act as that frontline and die a lot. So we'll see how it plays out as we see the rotations coming out. Lesh versus Quap top, and it is going to be a dual lane versus tri-lane bottom. Taiga trying to get aggressive early.
Leading on to Miracle. They've got the root as well. They'll be able to do a good amount of damage here. Miracle, he's just straight up dead. The 3 of them collapse upon him. First blood to Mickey.
Great move by Taiga. Super sneaky as well. Boots, and then he just runs into the tree lines there. He could easily set up there. I like that.
You can see there at the top of your screen the odds coming a whole lot closer here in this game 3 as expected. We've seen both games go very much one-sided. And looking at the drafts, it's really hard to get a read of which way this game 3 is going to swing, and if it's going to swing as heavily as the previous games did, as we've had some rather one-sided affairs so far.
Yeah, I personally have not gotten to see too much Visage. The only games I actually saw Visage was with Grimstroke, I think in China region, where they were doing Grimstroke Visage and they were throwing it on the familiars a lot, but besides that, I have not seen this hero too much myself.
Yeah, I've seen it in different capacities because it's still very much a hero, the Visage, at least when in a tri-lane, like a tri-lane. The soul assumption early on, that damage nuke is insane.
Being able to buffed a lot.
Yeah, 4-second cooldown. Obviously, this is in a different capacity, having it in the mid lane. It's got its own strengths in terms of the timings with getting the familiars online. But it definitely can work in when it comes down to getting involved in that action early on. Bottom lane, Taiga is going to be run down by GH. The battery assault does come to an end, and Insania will hold him back with the Fortune's End. Getting some good space for Mickey to pick up the farm down here. Miracle, though, not necessarily falling behind. Only a couple of CS in it right now. This top lane set up 8 for 1, 5 for 2, but Mind Control's got a whole wave coming in, so with that in mind, again, very, very much an even trade between these 2 heroes up top.
I feel like it's an easier lane for Mind Control to win. It's an easier lane for Boxy just to lose. If Boxy gets lucky, maybe he can do some stuff with it.
Bottom.
We'll see it, yeah.
GH's got to be a little careful. He keeps coming forward. And this is, Insania, his Oracle. It's one of the best in the game. He knows exactly when you're low enough to just be nuked down by obviously the combo of the Purifying Flames and the Fortune Ends. You've got to be very careful when you run at this tri-lane, because as soon as there's the opportunity, Liquid will turn and they will burst you down between these heroes.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Liquid's tri-lane is absolutely strong. Like, they can get kills on the side of Nigma if they find people isolated with GH, but Liquid can just choose to go on a target even if they're standing in the middle of the lane. They can just throw their abilities because they have different ways to tank the battery assault with the illusions that can come up from the BL. And yeah, now they just have a clear level advantage. They're just going to keep going and punching it.
I mean, we see it here. Kuro, in they go. He's trying to run, but Taiga Mickey on top of them. And now they'll turn their attention over towards GH and Miracle, who do manage to finish off Taiga in response with that waveform. So able to get the trade this time, Nigma.
how's regen looking down there? I think I'm seeing quite a bit more on the side of Team Liquid. Yeah, Mika still has a lot of regen. Miracle is going to start. Yeah, they brought a little bit more, but see if they can keep this aggression. Now they actually have 3 heroes versus just the 2, as Taiga did have to. He was back at base.
GH is trying to run in. I think they're going to be able to turn and just kill him. He does manage to go with the help of the stun onto Insania. And actually, with the Dukes in the trees, he will live. As you say, charges were prepared, and GH is able to stay alive. Nigma this time getting a kill and losing nothing for it.
Weehaw staying incredibly low in the mid lane. Quakely just getting getting that arcane rune now too can put even more pressure. Let's just be a little bit careful. He does the fairy fire and everything too, so he's trying to maybe bait some pressure, but sitting very low on HP.
Trying to get control of the creeps here, but Kuro is able to pull the creeps back away from that camp. Make sure the lanes continue to be held in a position where Miracle can farm just as much as Mickey is. 21-7, 21-5. Identical farm with these carries pretty much.
Huh, this Siphon actually owns Visage so hard. Gravekeeper Cloak does not tick down at all, but it does the full damage to him whenever he does use it on him.
Pretty much a free full heal for Koi for every time he runs him down.
Yeah, look at that.
Top, Boxy. Nice 2-man stun there. Stops GH and Mind Control from being able to get a grab on him. Grab the bounty rune, refill his bowl. We'll head back to base by the looks of it for a refill before he TPs out and tries to get himself back there. It does mean that Mind Control is going to get some space to play out on his own, as you expected, and as you said, you know, we are seeing the Queen of Pain definitely getting the better half of the share out of this 1v1.
Absolutely, and it's also like, not even just including the clockwork. I mean, Queen of Pain should win that lane, but then you throw any rotation from GH and it's very scary as Weehaw.
Tiger just leads him with a walking gang, lays down the Nature's Grasp, and Quakefor runs him down with the Ghost. As Weehaw will fall. Again, similar timing to when we saw Liquid really punish Weehaw's mid lane, as in game 2.
Love this move by GH. He actually catches the catapult and the full creep wave during the exorcism of Quakefor. So that tower, that would have taken a very significant amount of damage, and now only takes 33 damage just because of a small movement by GH dragging the wave. Love that.
Yeah, ever so important for Weehaw to have this tower intact so he can remain in this area and get that 6. But Weehaw, the towers, they needs TPs. They are coming. GH is heading over. But can he actually get them off the Visage? As Tiger and Quakefor stay on top, another TP comes through, and a third TP, 3 TPs coming over to mid. They've got to save their mid laner. They'll be able to jump in with the Sonic Wave onto the 2 of them. GH pushing Quakefor off to the side. Living Armor will not save this Death Prophet, as Nigma, this time around here in game 3, they're not going to let Weehaw die a second time in this mid. The backup is inbound, and it will be able to get the kill on Quakefor and keep Weehaw protected.
I do agree with the move that they were doing, though, on the side of Liquid, right? They had a doubled up creep wave, and they're like, Weehaw is definitely in a position here that could dive, and we could get a lot of damage on the tower. Sure, they don't get the kill, but tower is getting already half HP now because of that move that they made, and they forced how many reactions. So I'd like that move anyway from Liquid, even if Quakefor does go down.
Whilst that did happen, bottom lane continues just to be a farm fest. Both Mickey and Miracle more than happy with what they're getting out of this bottom lane. The timing on the Ghost, 35 seconds, and Quakefor will be ready to roll again and ready to move down and try to do more damage to this tier 1 in the mid. Already sitting at under half HP. Mind Control's build will be going the Necro Book route this game on the Queen of Pain.
Okay.
It's that incredibly efficient item that helps in numerous ways, whether it's pushing, fighting, farming. It's going to help speed it up, and he is going to get it at a very decent time.
Yeah, I mean, in this game, it's not like he's a Queen of Pain versus an Ember Spirit, where it's just the king item. You know, you can go for your different types of ones, and this is just, I think we've just seen this item picked up so much, and we know why. It's so strong.
A bit of a wraparound from GH, just causing Quakefor to be careful with the route that he takes. He has got the protection of Tiger, though, and that will be enough. GH not quite able to get a grab with the cogs as Quakefor keeps his distance.
Ooh, a dream item neutral item for Quakefor too. The Faded Brooch out of the base if he does choose to get it. One of the better ones for Death Prophet early on.
Bottom. The hesitation there for Kuro is going to allow Insania to get him reach with the Fortune's End. Kuro's dead. Just a moment of a pause there from him that does cause his death. This Juicy camp here. GH pushing away Boxy's Leshrac, make sure the Boxy is unable to clear this, and GH and Mind Control are able to clean it up themselves. Boxy will start to...
They can't let Boxy take that. He's hiding in the side there, maybe trying to catch somebody. Majority of it, though.
Doesn't look like, yeah, Boxy's able to get any of this. As Mind Control continues to hold that slight lead against the farm of Boxy's Leshrac on this top lane. It's mid lane, Quakefoot, Exorcism ready to go once more. They do know that likely if they do try and make this aggressive play onto the tower mid, TPs will come through again. Nigma have shown they're not ready to give up this area of the map early on here in game 3, and they will respond. This time around, Insania is also there with the backup. They'll turn straight onto Kuro. He's a bit too far forward as they get in on top of him. The Visage Familiars do help him. And they help him. Is it enough? The Ghosts?
They're too bad.
They've got him. Couldn't quite hold him back in time. Weehaw tried his best to save his support, but it wasn't going to be the case. As Quakefoot gets the kill, can now look to push on to the tier 1, see if anyone else wants to come in for the defense. Mind Control does have Sonic Wave if he wants to TP over. It's a little low on the mana.
Going for the rune first. He's got a lot of regen, though, with the double sages plus the
there we go.
Drop.
Yeah, and with the clarity popping, it will be soon back up to full.
And I feel like if you're Kuroki in the same situation there, they just used Exorcism. Sure, you die as a Venge 5 position, but the tower is saved. Tower only took 200 damage. Well worth it for Kuroki's positioning there.
And you really do see, Nigma, they know, they let this tower go. This game's going to potentially start falling as quickly as game 2 did. Yep. They've got to play around this area of the map, make sure that Weehaw doesn't suffer early on, and so far it's working out. They're keeping Weehaw held in the game. Sure, there's still a lead for Quakefoot's Death Prophet, but Weehaw is not being knocked down as hard as he was in game 2.
No, definitely not. He's already got a full item picked up here with that Dominator, so he can look to make these. He can look to be already aggressive. He can already be a good damage dealer, and he's going to be able to soak and put a lot of pressure on the map too, which is going to give Miracle that space that he needs to farm. And he is farming just fine, even though he did get brought down very early in that bottom tri-lane. He has recovered as they've caused a lot of havoc on the map now. And he's actually laning versus nobody as his Morphling.
Yep, Mickey's starting to hit the jungle. Doesn't feel confident holding in the lane. Miracle's able to push the tower. The siege creep comes through as well. Tiger giving a little bit of protection with the living armor. Miracle's able to do a substantial amount of damage here. With this push, Mickey's starting to move back over, but it is just a PL on zone. We'll be able to alleviate some of the pressure, and of course, it doesn't really matter what sort of pressure is done as long as they can push back. There will be the time for Tiger to restore the damage done. Mid, talking about Tiger. Maybe he had his eyes too set on that bottom tower that he was trying to protect as he gets caught in the mid. Swap back from Kuro. Sets him in position for him and Weehaw to take him down. Quakefoot's trying to chase down GH. GH, he has got the stick charges. Is it enough? It is.
Ooh, with that rain drop as well.
Kuro's also around with the swap. Not necessary, but just to show that he was there in case he was needed.
Yeah. I was about to say, we probably are only going to see, for the majority, aggressive swaps too, and I didn't say it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now bottom. CP was in play from Tiger. Miracle. See how much he wants to try and poke around with Mickey. Just have to be a little careful, but at the same time, GH has hit the 6, and he's also got an Invis rune, so good potential here with the
save top. Boxy, he actually gets false promise at 30 HP. He's on Mind Control.
And with that, he's going to be not fine.
Not fine.
Not fine. They tried their best there. South did come out. Didn't quite come out earlier. I don't know who, I mean, was it Insania who sounded him or he sounded himself? But he didn't do it at the start of the false promise, so it was far too late. Did not get enough healing benefit.
Yeah. And Nigma now, quickly, they turn their eyes toward mid with the Visage Familiars, with the Venge there. Taking down this tower.
And GH is able to get this set up with the Rocket Flare. He's in onto Tiger. Tiger, he has got the Overgrowth. He's trying to get it out, and he will do. He gets it out in time. GH now taking hits from the tower. GH is going to fall. Boxy comes in with the TP. Miracle already shifted heavily into strength, but Boxy's going to do his best to run him down. Tiger, as low on HP as he is, he's still managing to help out with a good line of the Nature's Grasp, forcing Miracle to waveform away. Boxy won't be able to grab him though, so Miracle does manage to escape. But the kill attempt on Tiger, unsuccessful. Liquid able to respond, get something in their favor. 7-5, 13 minutes in, without a doubt the closest game by far of this series.
Yeah, and that's a big heads-up move, too, by Taiga, because not only does he defend the bottom tower, now he's able to heal it up with living armor, but also, in the meanwhile, mid lane, Quakefa actually got the deny on that tower when they were pushing it. Little moves there by Liquid, and during all this, the PL Mickey farming quite nicely and getting close to that Diffusal. Diffusal's going to be so nice versus this Morphling and this Queen of Pain.
Oh yeah, if he's able to start fighting into Miracle's face before Miracle's got the E-Blade done, which he should have a pretty good window to do so. Liquid are going to have that pretty nice strength. I see GH, he tried for the hook shot, but unfortunately for him, Weehar's Ice Ogre and it was just all in the way. Couldn't get the angle for it. So Boxy, no threat at all to him. He's out. Top lane, they can start to push this tier 1 tower. It doesn't look like Nigma have any intention of defending this. It should be a tier 1 instead. It's a straight tier 1 trade. Nigma coming in with their own push down bottom between Weehar and Miracle. And Weehar even trying to scout for Tiger in the tree line. Tiger trying to do his best to stay hidden, but Weehar has got a lock on him. And get the tower. I don't know if Tiger's going to be able to get out of this. He's got the overgrowth, using it to hold back the familiars, try and stay out of vision. He's going for the TP. Will Weehar find him? He will. He gets him. Familiars in just in time. It was a solid attempt from Tiger with the overgrowth, but an attempt in vain as Tiger will still fall. Nigma are able to take the tower and a kill on top of it.
You again? Are you lost?
Meanwhile, I did see GH and Kuroki were just getting wards down in the meantime, but no aggression coming up from Liquid during any of that time, just trying to build himself a little bit more gold, it seemed like, to get, in particular, making Diffusal finished up. Quite fun.
A bit of an aggressive blink there from Mind Control, not offering any fear whatsoever as he jumped in. Dagger was immediately purged by Insania with the Tune's End.
So Mind Control's going for the build I've been calling it kind of like the Zai build, but he was the one, I don't know, a lot of people are still doing it. It's just book into mech. He's played this like team fighting co-op role, always around your team. Definitely like that build quite a bit this game too, as I don't believe that they're going to be playing versus a mech at almost any point in this game. So they're going to have that big advantage versus Liquid in those fights. Yeah, I mean, with the cores that Liquid have, they don't have a hero that's going to be farming those utility items, right? As you can see, well, both Quakefa and Boxy, they need their Yule Scepters. You know, they don't have a core that's going to be building any sort of item to buff up their lineup as a 5-man. Yeah. Still scary, even with Yules, you can still get swapped. So he can still just swap you out of your Yules in a lot of situations. So I'm really just looking at Kuroki a lot of times. This Nether swap I feel like is going to cause huge issues when Liquid does look to set up and actually push down these towers as a unit. Because I feel like it's just going to outrange a lot. That's the biggest problem that you have with False Promise now is just that cast range. It's just going to nerf him anytime. I mean,
it's going to sort of force Insania's hand very early in the fights, right? Like he will have to pop that False Promise early in anticipation of his core being swapped away before he gets a chance to. And then it's all about the mind game. Suddenly you're false promising someone that Nigma says, hey, we didn't even want to go on them, and they swap the other core out.
Yeah, and you have to, right? Because there's so much burst damage too, ending when they can come out if you don't get it at the right time.
If they can get the catch here. The smoke, trying to close in on to Mind Control. Kuro is in the trees, turns with the magic missile onto Tiger, attempted with the blink out, the stun's there, swapped him to the side, but Tiger's in with the overgrowth onto the 2 of them. Mind Control's locked down, still gets the blink off, he'll be able to get away. They turn over towards Kuro. Kuro, he will be left behind by the rest of his team. We are straight up with the TP out. They'll only lose Kuro, and this was Quakefa popping the Exorcism.
They lost the Dominated Creep and one Familiar as well, but yeah, just for the most part, just Kuroki lost. That's a... Wow, cannot believe Mind Control actually lived. That was pre-mech too. He actually just lived tanking through it because of swap and his talent H.
Oh yeah, yeah, you say that's worrying for Liquid. With the mech, can't imagine that this Quap's gonna die. They pretty much used all the tools at their disposal there. The overgrowth into the silence from Quakefa, it just wasn't long enough.
Yeah, and we mentioned burst damage on the side of Nigma. That is a full go. That is the full Ethereal Blade for Miracle on top of a Vambrace and triple Wraith Band. So we were talking about high burst damage. Now they have even more so with him getting that space.
Yeah, that's true. He's been farming away quite silently down here. As GH, he's in onto Insania. As the E-Blade, Miracle will be able to get himself the first kill there with the reveal. Bofa's getting nuked low. Miracle doesn't want to dive in with the waveform underneath the tier 2 tower. GH still trying to chase down Tiger. In fact, the birds are here. They're on to Quaitfa. Quaitfa has got the movement speed to get away from Weeha and Kuro. Boxy, he's not going to be as fortunate though. Familiar stuns around. Is the magic missile. Living armor is there. Boxy is getting healed up. Swat back straight out of the Yule's. As you said, that Yule Scepter just proven to be immediately a useless purchase. It did nothing for him.
And Quaitfa goes down as well.
Just casually behind tier 3s.
And the swap again. I mean, at this swap,
I mean, now Mickey!
and
Mickey's got to run! False Promise comes out. Mickey will be able to turn on to Miracle. GH trying to hold them back. The cogs are out. Will push back Mickey. They are healing him up. He is going to be fine. Will not pop the False Promise enough to keep him safe. GH trapped in the Nature's Grasp does die. Quick response there from Insania with the Fate's Edict to make sure there was no follow-on magical damage to burst him down. But already we're seeing the threat of this strong E-Blade timing on Miracle.
like we mentioned, like the pick of this Vengeful Spirit, when I heard like the panel mention it too, and it's immediately when I saw, you know, Yule's getting picked up on Death Prophet, Yule's getting picked up on Leshrac.
I mean, it just ruins it, yeah.
You don't care, you just swap them out of the Yules. And I've seen this happen a lot of times, and yeah, Kuro, perfect timing there, and now they got the ball rolling. It's only a 2k advantage, but this is a very intimidating Morphling.
I mean, surely this was not something that the Liquid overlooked, right? They just felt that the Yules was still such a necessary item for these heroes that they would buy it regardless of the fact that Kuro is able to make such plays that just break the defensive aspect of the item. Well, this time they'll break him. TP is into mid.
There is a cooldown on swap too, right? It has a pretty lengthy one, especially with the early ones. It's 90 per restore. So, you know, it's not like the Yules is completely countered, but it is something they're going to have to be worried about and play around.
Well, the game now starting to shift into Nigma's advantage. 3k lead. A lead that will continue to grow, especially mind control on this Quap. Anytime he gets space with the Necro Book, he's going to farm very, very quickly on the Queen of Pain, and you're seeing that with the item progression. Guardian Greaves just a couple of 100 gold away.
Yeah, they're gonna have Greaves and Crimson Guard. It's gonna be pretty tough for Liquid to fight into when they have both completed. This PL is going to be heavily countered. And I do believe that we will see Nigma try to. They're gonna start gathering up, I think, as those two items do get delivered. Both of them are coming out. We see actually there's like 9 couriers flying out on the map right now. Can't keep track. There's the Crimson Guard, level 14 on Visage.
I've got to do something about this morph. Miracle, 4 kills, only that 1 death early on in the game. Once the BKB is there, there is very little they can do to stop this map.
Yeah, I feel like I think Panel mentioned it too. It's like Manta is so good this game. You're playing always versus Treant Protector, but also you're playing versus Fortune's End from the Oracle as well as the Silence. You have so many different ways to play around it with Manta.
Yeah, he was sort of cycling between the BKB and the Manta, but yeah, you're right. He's opted on the Manta. And that's the Greaves done. So 21 minutes in, mind control, the Necro Book into the Greaves. It's come out at an incredible pace. And this Quap is not an easy kill at all. No, they're very tanky.
Damage is definitely going to be tough for Liquid here. Like Crimson Guard plus that Graves, like we were mentioning. They're getting the setup here on Weeha.
Quaitfa, he's trying to go in with the Ghost. He's just burst. And that's the Exorcism. Oh, no, he's just summoned up his own Ghost. He dies straight away. GH's in under the tower. Set up there onto Insania. Goodbye. As Miracle blasts him in the face with the E-Blade. I mean, that doesn't look great for Liquid. If they cannot present pretty much the one hero that they want to put on the front lines, have backed up by the False Promise, and Quaitfa just dies. He just disappears.
Yeah, you can't. Like it's far too much burst damage, and like we mentioned, I feel like over and over again, but like you're putting this Oracle just at a super far distance from this Death Prophet. Death Prophet has to act as your frontliner in this game for Liquid, and then there's so many different ways to mess with the Oracle on top of that. Let's say if he does somehow get closer to get it off, there's going to be Visage Familiars, there's going to be a Clockwork flying in and shoot. So there's a lot of different solutions Nigma does have, and now with Exorcism just literally completely burning zero damage, they have this easy rotation to Rosh.
I mean, how do you stop your heroes dying like that?
Maybe they need to just have, they need to list Tao Mickey just has to be the one to force the issue, and he has to be the one that just starts chaos in the front lines to allow Quakefoot to get a better position. They just have to have someone else tank the brunt of the force and let Quakefoot play his hero in a safer position. But it's still so hard. So much burst damage coming out.
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying at the start, you know, Visage, the soul assumption, and it's a huge amount of damage early on. It's still a huge amount of damage now, and obviously buffed up by the E-Blade debuff on an enemy. Yeah, they really do just pop.
Yeah. And their tank ability is so high too. Like PL, he hates playing against Crimson Guard. Now he's playing against that and as well.
And you just don't have any sort of protection. I mean, you sort of look against Nigma's heroes. It would be kind of nice if you had a hero that could get a pipe. It would be kind of nice if you had a hero that could get a Crimson, but they don't. They just don't have that utility hero that's able to get these items for the team. They've all had to build for themselves. You know, both this Death Prophet and the Lesh having to go for the Yules, and Mickey, obviously, you know, he's not going to change his build. He has to go for this Diffusal Manta. Yeah. He's a PL. But they don't have any hero to kind of save each other. They're all these heroes that can be strong on their own regards, but if you're seeing them just getting blown up like that by Nigma's lineup, you got to start feeling a little worried for Liquid's you know, potential power in the 5v5 engagements. What is it around?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're trying to find the solution as well, as we see. I mean, it's a Vanguard on Taiga, on the Treant Protector, and he's going for the Crimson Guard himself.
He has to, yeah.
To have some type of protection to be then a front line for the PL for the DP, but
someone has to. But it's going to be slow, right? Because you're making your support farm it up. So it's not going to be at a timing where it would have sort of a great effectiveness against Nigma. It is going to be slower. Yeah, once we get back after this, you will imagine that this Roche, there's no contest. This will be a free Aegis for Nigma. I mean, the question is, you know, how much does Nigma even need to keep on the pressure? Is this a lineup that does need to start cleaning up the map, poking at the high ground, or if you're the Morphis gamer, you're sort of saying, lads, I've had a great start. We can sort of take this game as it comes. There's no real pressure to shut it down that soon. Yeah.
Even when they do, let's say, like, they're going to be getting their BKB at least on the DP relatively soon. It's still going to be quite a bit of time, but there's still physical damage. There's still a Vengeful Spirit plus a Visage that's going to be able to knock you through it anyway. So, yeah, they have a lot of different things that they have to check off the list to try to come back in this one.
No, absolutely. They've got a great mixed resource of damage.
I feel like Nigma last game I was watching him and I was like, man, they have no damage. And then Kuroki in this game is like, we're going to just draft as much damage as possible. This is one of the heavy bursting drafts I've seen in quite a long time. It was quite a big reversal.
I mean, if you are Liquid, I mean, when it comes to these fights, who are you trying to get to? You know, obviously Taiga, he's pretty good at being able to get round to the back lines, getting through the trees. Do you just have to find Kuro? Do you just have to take away this Venge before you really start to go for a team fight?
Oh, man. Not at this point now, maybe, but now you're going to be playing into Aegis, so it just gets so complicated, these fights for them. Because it's like, wow, you got the Venge. Like, you're going to commit a lot of resources and you're going to get Kuroki. That's not going to feel so great when you have the biggest damage dealer still alive, that Morphling, that Quap, that Visage just standing their ground. But, like, you can't... Like, going for Queen of Pain, that is a very tanky target. Going for Visage, no way. Like, Visage has Essence Ring, Crimson Guard with Max Gravekeeper, so that's just tough. Tough targets for him to go for.
Yeah, very tough. You know, Nigma, just this time round, you saw how they adapted to the flaws they had in Game 2, not just in draft, but in the way they were able to protect their lanes, make sure that all three of their cores had a good start rather than letting, you know, at least one of the lanes, the mid. As we get ourselves back into this and resume, Nigma taking out the Roshan, grabbing themselves the Aegis. And there we have it. Miracle will take it. They already had trouble killing him once. It's going to be almost impossible to do it twice.
And this will give him the like little blanket where he can just finish up that Manta and not be at risk because he has an Aegis. And he's going to have it any moment now. And then, I don't know how you kill this Morphling. You have to get him pretty isolated, and I don't believe that Nigma is going to give you that choice now. Immediately grouping up and maybe looking to pressure down this tower here, force a fight.
We'll see how Liquid want to put together a defense. Do have the... well, still a minute before that exorcism is up again. I mean, without that, they have very little threat in the fights.
Yeah, but he used the exorcism like as he was getting swapped, and they both have similar cooldowns. So when exorcism's up, it's almost going to be like 2 swaps are up as well, so they can play around it pretty nicely, at least if Kuroki's there.
Radiant's top tower.
Biggest thing really
attack.
is just getting Koikfa BKB, because then he can at least not get popped by Ethereal Blade combo and a Soul Assumption instantly and avoid the stun.
Yeah.
That's one thing that could help a bit, but he can't find any farm. He's actually just hit no creeps in the last minute that he's been walking around here.
And there we go. TP down bottom. They want to try and plan to mid-game. They're coming in. GH with a hook shot straight into the backside of Kuro. That won't do it.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
As Miracle, he's turned into the PL in an attempt to keep chasing. It's a bit of a hard grab. Mickey with his own doppelganger looking for the micro jukes. Miracle's going to turn over towards Boxy instead. The E-Blade combo comes into play. Insania will be quick with the reaction to try and keep him safe. But Miracle, he's just forcing Insania to false promise himself. Mickey will be able to turn and take the Venge out. GH is also falling to the PL. Mickey doing a great job of getting on the backliners. Jump over from Mind Control. The Auras come out with the Crimson buff. Over to Weehaw they go, but a big Sonic Wave on the 3 of them knocks them back. Mickey with another doppel is still alive, but they will find him amongst the illusions. They kill off the PL. Koikfa nuked down by the E-Blade. Boxy cannot TP out in time as Miracle's in with the adaptive strike. Cancels the TP. There's a triple kill for Miracle as 4 go down on Liquid. Mickey there with his best attempts to try and claw the fight back in favor of Liquid, but it was just not enough. He gets the 2 kills onto the supports, but the cores, they just clean up so easily right now.
Yeah, and he went for the target, but he actually did exactly what we were kind of talking about. He's like, all right, I gotta get the Venge. All right, I'll get the Clockwork too. All right, they popped Crimson Guard, now what? Right, like he just had to hold his ground versus those 3 big cores and can't really do much of anything versus them. And they just get annihilated pretty quickly as this Morphling is at critical mass.
Yeah, 8-1 and 2 Miracle this match. E-Blade, Manta, and into the Butterfly. Just, I mean, it just amps up both aspects, doesn't it? It improves your magical nuke with the E-Blade, and of course the right-click potential does mean that even with that BKB, if it does come out for Koikfa, he's still really struggling to get it done. He's still going to die so quickly if Nigma are able to put him in position where Insania cannot get to him.
Yeah, and then Miracle can also hold his ground versus PL a little better, and if he turns into the PL, his PL loses even better when he does have that butterfly to it. Yeah, a lot of different benefits for it. They quickly take down that tower. Still feeling confident and aggressive with this Aegis.
Yeah, still with a good amount of time to play with it. I'd not be surprised if we even see Nigma try for some high ground dives. You know the way that Miracle likes to play. He loves to play aggressive, especially when ahead.
Boom, there it goes.
26 minutes in, it is just the fact that, you know, this game, it's still relatively young, you know, just 26 minutes into the action. But Nigma's caused this Miracle, E-Blade, Eagle Song, swap out. That's one of Liquid's cores gone. Boxy, they just don't have a leg to stand on these cores.
And they can't get farm. And like the Boxy and Koikfa are desperately trying to get farm, but they just get quickly swapped out. And now
GH just straight into the back lines. We are sends the familiars forward. Tiger's trying to get the overgrowth off. Will manage to find it. They do manage to get the stun onto Miracle as well. Miracle shifting the wrong direction, but he still lives. They didn't have enough control to finish him. He turns E-Blade nuke onto Mickey. Mickey has to buy back. Over they go to Boxy. The false promise comes out just in time. Boxy, he's looking to push back Kuro. Kuro staying out of the range of the ghost. Koikfa trying to chase him. Kuro into the trees. Kuro, he's actually juked him out. Kuro's still alive here. Finally falls. They do manage to get the Aegis. Can they kill Miracle a second time? They surround him. He's already shifted heavily into strength. Jump ball from Miracle. From Mind Control. He's trying to push back the back lines. Give Miracle the space he needs to get out. Mickey staying on top of Miracle as best as he can. Miracle still has a fair bit of mana. Goes for the self E-Blade. He's going to play defensively. Goes for the TP out. Weehaw as well. TP's out. Nothing to cancel him as Weehaw was able to knock down a familiar onto Koikfa, stopping Koikfa from getting in range with the Yule Scepter.
And Mind Control gets the blink into the trees when he dove in to protect Miracle, and he survives too. All 3 cores get out of Nigma.
And that was the PL buyback Mickey in an attempt to swing that one around. They just didn't have the damage or control to deal with the morph. Shifted entirely into strength. Far too tanky with the amount of stats that Miracle has to move around for them to be able to kill. And top GH found himself a bit of solo action. And he goes with a hook shot. On to Insania. Kuro from the high ground follows in with a magic missile. Insania cannot escape this one. Kuro. Oh. It looked like he swapped Mike. Yeah, I think he wanted the kill. It was like, get out of here, son. I'm going in. This one's mine. Wasn't to be the case, though. Mind Control was still able to grab it, despite Kuro's best attempts at a KS.
Yeah. That last fight, what? Taiga got a 3-man root, and then they got a 3-man stun, too. And that was... Yeah, it still wasn't enough to actually net them any of the kills on the course. Yeah, they're going to really need things to line up perfectly for themselves somehow. As 14,000 gold lead, and now they're acquiring even more things to protect themselves.
Yeah,
Mind Control, Lotus Orb, even has a greater Fairy Fire, even tankier on this Queen of Pain now.
Yeah, you can't burst him. You look at these last few fights, but he's been playing casually with a Mystic Staff in his backpack. He's going for that Shiva's Guard. It's pretty much there. Just 400 gold, and it'll be done.
All the items in the world to address. The only hero that...
Ooh.
That was close.
Yeah, Miracle tried his best there to shift into the Leshen and catch him with the stun, but Boxy was out in time. A little too close for comfort, though. Timings for Miracle. His next time is done. Butterfly is going to be picked up. Eagle Song's purchased. The courier's on its way out. Pre-30 minutes. Manta E-Blade Butterfly on this Morphling.
Oof. And then, like you said, the Shivas on Weeha going to be finished up. So Crimson Guard, Shivas, those are probably the two... I'd say those are the two items that PL hates playing versus the most. And they're going to have both of them up now on this Visage. And this incredibly farmed Morphling will carry them. But now also to Orb of Destruction, so even more physical damage on top of what he already had.
And it's a tough game from Nikkei. You know, he is the only one with a decent amount of farm on Liquid's half. He's going for the heart as he needs to have that extra HP to make sure that he doesn't get burst if he gets caught. But then obviously he falls into the problem of just not having the damage to take down these heroes.
They've addressed him. They knew that it's just the PL issue. This game is really all going to be the PL since the Death Prophet and Lesh just can't really get any farm, and they know that they're going to be able to burst them. So yeah, just itemize versus that PL, and that's exactly what they've done. Now they get their, well, it looks like they're going to do a big push down bottom. All their auras ready, their telescope and everything as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
To have the favor of the repair kit to try and slow things down, but as you can see with the right clicks Nigma's got to offer, this tower still taking a heavy beating through the kit.
Telescope plus Venge with the Morphling. Morph actually can just hit the tower easily from the low ground. He doesn't have to put himself in a risky position up there.
Oh, and GH is in. He's able to get the hook shot and the swap setup from Kuro's play to get quite far out of position. Has to put the BKB. Miracle goes in trying to nuke down Insania. It wasn't quite enough damage, so Insania will live. BKB output quite for they turn over towards GH. He's caught in the trees. They kill off the clock. Buyback from Insania as he finally forced the rocket flare of GH. They step in over towards Miracle. He started to shift into strength. Silence will end. He's able to jump out. Kuro goes for a swap onto Boxy. Sonic Wave's there, but Insania was in time with the false promise, keeping Boxy alive for now at least. Turns with the stun onto Kuro. They'll take down the bench. Over they go towards Weeha as well. Boxy, he'll back up to full. Weeha being focused. He's falling low. Can they finish him off? The whole team of Liquid chasing him down, but Weeha, he's able to get the speed back up with the Grave Chill. Finally comes to an end. Mickey closes the gap. The Spirit Lodge, the Diffusal Blade slow. They'll kill off Weeha as well. Liquid will manage to hold and push back Nigma.
Huge fight for them. And it was what, just Insania buying back, just the positioning, and I mean repair kit as well, of course. Tower pretty much up to full HP, then being able to hold their ground there.
And they are getting some of these items that are going to help make a bit of a difference. Boxy with the full Greaves. So now Liquid themselves having a sort of burst save measure. Give that extra bit of time that is required to allow Insania to move in, and certainly if Boxy is getting swapped in deep, he may just be able to live long enough for that save to occur.
Yeah, very quick save. And Kuroki, even though the Yules was out, he didn't want to use the secondary swap, it looked like, to actually just break him out of it. He thought maybe they could just bring him down without it, and tossing him a bit. Just that PL army really started adding up. Even though, I mean, the Sonic Wave caught like absolutely everybody, but like you said, that clutch save from Insania, and then they had the numbers advantage plus the army to chase out. Very nice hold.
Yeah. Against Nigma, who is up 12k right now. And as we say, all three cores having a phenomenal time for the most part of this match. But Mickey, he's standing up there with the giants of Nigma this game. 15.5k net worth. He's ready to start going into the item after the heart. And once he's able to find that item, then this PL will manage to overrun Nigma if Nigma do sort of lose a hero or two at the start of a fight. Mickey can definitely still have a solid chance of carrying this.
Yeah, if he can get himself to farmed up for his other cores to catch up, then they actually have multiple cores instead of just relying on this PL. Yeah, he got the heart, going for that Scotty. A lot of based on these positionings and how much Insania can do, because now Insania, he did have to use the buyback. If they catch Insania, he's going to be dead for quite a long time, and then catching those frontline targets will be very easy for Nigma.
On the hunt again around this time. Roshan is up. Miracle with a DD will be able to make quick work of it. They're scouting it out with the illusions though, Mickey. Illusions will end and Miracle's in. Take this Rosh very, very fast, yeah. E-Blade, Butterfly, and a DD. Fully shifted into the Agi.
Yeah, just dies without any temper minus armor besides that bench. Now,
GH, he's also finding an opportunity. He's in on a quite for the false promise. Does come out early as required. Swap there onto GH to keep him safe. The daggers are flying out. Sonic Wave pushing them back. The overgrowth is there as Mickey is in on the backlines trying to find Weehaw, but he's losing the rest of his team. Both Quakefoot and Insania, they're out of it. Dagger in onto Boxy, slowed down, shot down by Miracle with that adaptive strike as it's a triple kill for them all. Mickey will find GH. They have lost two, but Miracle, he's just cleaning up. This morph is out of control. It's an ultra kill for him. The 3 heroes dead on Liquid are without buyback, so there should be an opportunity for Nigma to close up onto the high ground. They still have the Aegis, they still have the cheese. And it's only going to be up to Mickey and Tiger to try and push them back here for the next 30 seconds at least.
That was like beautiful by GH actually. It looked a little weird for a second, but then when he gets swapped out, you can see the positioning that it all happens. It looks like it's like they're on the low ground, it looks a little scary, but Miracle just wait forms all the way past to the back lines. The false promise order is already used to protect somebody, and then Quakefoot just gets annihilated by the right clicks by the Morphling in less than 2 seconds, and then you can see what they actually did. They would have just said, oh, PL is the problem, but PL alone can't actually do anything, so if we kill the rest of his 4 teammates, then we just can actually deal with that hero. Hit again.
Just fun time. Time for the team to respawn. Mickey starting to push in, starting to burn the mana of Miracle. Miracle. Not feeling too worried whatsoever though with that Aegis cheese and the backup that he does have. Mickey still playing out though. Onto Weehaw he goes. Trying to bully back the Visage. Quakefoot, he's got the backup of Insania. False Promise is available if they do jump in onto him. Mickey caught on the side though. Mickey this time getting shot back by GH with the Cogs separating from the rest of his team. Liquid, they're trying to get over towards the PL, but the Cogs, they're just pushing them back. Mickey is able to run around to the side now with the overgrowth. Tiger does hold them down. Boxy steps into the center of it all, but he just gets burst by Miracle. A waveform across. Boxy's life is lost. And now with the jump in from Mind Control, they could chase for even more. Dagger out for 2 of them. Insania will be able to purge it off himself. GH trying to get in to catch someone with the Cogs, but he's being beat back by Mickey's illusions. Mickey steps forward once more. Silence onto the group of them. But not chasing Nigma outside of the base. Again, anytime Liquid lose a member, they have to back off. They have to retreat. They have to make sure they only fight with a 5-man. Anything less, and it will be an easy fight for Nigma to take away with themselves.
Yeah, and they have to be careful not to peek themselves afterwards. You saw what Kuroki was actually trying to do, just trying to get either a Wave of Terror or a ward on the high ground just to get a quick swap, but they got the silence and were able to at least get away on the side of Liquid, but damage still done. All lanes pushing onto Liquid's side as well. So Nigma will be able to farm very nicely here and collect, it looks like, all the bounty runes.
Mickey definitely continuing to hold that glimmer of hope that Liquid have.
He's trying.
He really is, and it's something to say, you know, again, when you've seen a game like this, it's sat around this sort of 16 to 18k lead for a bit of time where Nigma haven't quite been able to break the high ground. You know, Tiger, he's keeping these tier 3s alive. Only the tier 3 up top that's gone down. Of course, all racks intact. Maybe they can hold long enough to get to the point, as you mentioned earlier, where they do have 3 cores that are going to be very strong inevitably on their own. They just need a lot of time to get there. So far, Liquid they're keeping the game open.
Yeah, just not getting the most farm though, right? Like the PL is just, he's the one soaking up all of it. Death Prophet and Lesh, they're still not getting a whole lot of anything. Koikva's now gotten a plate mail on top of the BKB, but level 19, you compare that to the cores on the other side, it's a little 23 Queen of Pain, so he's still struggling a bit there. Same thing for the Lash. Boxy at least has the Greaves plus that Yules, but still is, you feel the burst potential that can come out on these heroes. Like Boxy's still looking like very squishy with these items.
Mid. Runners there into the silence. So they can burst in the once won't be the case. Kuro quick with the swap. The tower will fall. Another tier 3 taken as Nigma ready to go up to the high ground. Necro books out. The push coming in as they look to try and take down both of the racks here. And they're doing a good job of it. This melee rack's it's gone. They'll get themselves half of it. Range racks as well also nearly down. Miracle's going to come back in and finish that off very, very quickly as well with the stats he has. Mickey's got his item after the hard done. The Monkey King bar is there.
Okay, it just gets reclaimed as well just now. They're looking to go on him.
They're charging in. Mickey is going for this Visage, but already that's just a death Prophet. Quite focused down by both GH and Miracle. He'll come in with the buyback. Tiger taken out. Miracle turns his attention over towards Boxy and Sania with a false promise. Will keep Boxy alive. Mickey's still trying to just clear through the front line of Nigma, pushing them back. Kuro swapping onto Quite, it's got him right into the reaches of Miracle. He uses up pulse the BKB as well. Kuro will die for this one, but so will Quite. Waveform forward, it's a die back on the Death Prophet. Triple kill once again for Miracle as he's just bursting through the entire lineup of Liquid. They're being pushed back towards the fountain. Nothing being held back by Nigma as they go for force Liquid in to heal up, buy the space required to take down this bottom set of tier 3s and barracks. There's a full X on Mind Control. Boxy and Mickey, they're the last two left alive. Mind Control jumps in, the Hex reveal is there, immediately disposes of Boxy. Hook shot across, Mickey will fall. He is without buyback, did fully commit for that MKB as this one looks like it's coming to an end with Nigma cleaning up the base, cleaning up the heroes. Boxy will die yet again. GG is called and Nigma take game 3, and with that the series is theirs 2-1.
Ooh.